Hello, Tamily. It's our last interview of the year. This is Ask Tamily interview 75. And Monica is our guest today. Her Instagram name is Monica Whispers. We are connecting with her now. We're very excited to have the chance to talk to Monica today. Hello!
Hello!
How are you?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
Good. We're so happy to have you for our 75th Ask Tamily interview.
Oh my God, I'm so happy to do this. Thank you so much.
Thank you. What we'd like to do first is start with some questions that we have planned. But I'll scroll through the chat as we're talking, and we'll ask live questions that the Tamily has for you as well.
Okay.
All right.
Do this.
Well, Monica, let's start with our favorite question, which is when and how did you start with the Tracy Anderson method?
Well, it was 2008, and my dog just had an accident, and I wanted to rehabilitate my dog. So I was coming from my job home, and by that time I quit going to the gym because I wanted to rehabilitate the dog. And so I needed to move, I needed to do something, and I was doing indoor cycle. I hated it, but I was doing it, and I didn't like the results. I didn't look the way I was feeling, but I kept on going. So here's what happened. A very good friend of mine gave me the Mac DVD, and she said, listen, Monica, you gotta try this girl. She Benny Madonna, just try her out. Of course, by that time, she didn't know she was creating a monster, and that's what she says now. Oh my God, I created a monster. But then I tried the Mac DVD, and the first week, I was amazed. I was amazed first and most important of all, because of the approach. She was coming up with something new and very different, and new possibilities of moving, like new angles, new inversions, everything was different. And that inspired me. She was coming up with something really unique. And so I kept on going. And by the end of the first month doing the Mac DVD, I started to see, those classic tan lines, like the shoulders, the abs, and I was like, it is working. And my body was responding, and Monica was happy. So I kept on going with Perfect Design Series.
Okay.
I loved it. And I kept on having results. Okay. My body was changing. I was amazed. So I signed up for Metamorphosis.
Okay.
I did year 1, year 2, year 3, year 4.
Wow.
Yes. And then streaming came out, and I was like, I can't miss this. How can I be missing this? Something real and live and raw, just what you see is what you get. So I signed for streaming on week 2 or 3. I think. Okay. And that was that.
Awesome.
Yes.
That's fantastic. So have you been consistent during that whole time, or did you ever struggle with consistency?
Well, let me tell you, today was one of those days that it was very hard for me to move. I was tired. I didn't sleep well. I was struggling. So it's not like every day I struggle like I think most of us do, all of us. I am consistent. I do it 6 to 7 days a week. Some weeks I feel okay and I don't take a rest day, or I do beginners. But most of the weeks it's like 6 to 7 days a week.
That's excellent. Excellent.
Thank
well,
you.
You definitely are an inspiration with your consistency and your like light and positive posts and videos. I love seeing them.
Oh, thank you. That's how I feel. What you see is really how I feel. And I complain a lot. I'm not always happy. I struggle on the mat. I take breaks and I go like, but I do it. I have to do it for myself.
So who is your inspiration?
Oh my God. That's a good one. I think you all know who she is. And it's not Tracy.
Right.
I love you, Tracy. I'm sorry, but my biggest inspiration is Aggie. Aggie, you all know her. Who doesn't know her? So she's my biggest inspiration for so many reasons.
I don't know if she's watching yet. I was just looking in the chat. I know she will, and I'm sure she's going to ask a really difficult question. Like,
I don't know. Let's wait. She joined. Oh, yeah.
Oh, yay!
Hey.
So we do already have a question in the chat, but it's not from Aggie yet.
Okay.
From Tam Nation.
Oh.
She would like to know, your hair is always amazing. What's your secret?
It's not always amazing, but thank you. Thank you. So I have a very good friend here, Tina. She does my hair. So because I'm not blonde, I think you must remember me. I have dark hair.
Uh-huh. Yes.
Like Suzanne. Yeah, but I try to keep up with the hair, you know, something that I really like. It's part of my image.
Yeah, that's another thing that I love. I'm surprised I didn't already mention that. I love seeing when you have your hair done, and it's just like you're adventurous because, you know, different styles and stuff that you'll do. I love it.
I had it pink at some point. I don't know if like purple, something here.
Uh-huh. So fun.
Now I keep it simple.
Right. So since you've been doing the method, I know you mentioned, you know, continuing to see results. What have been some of the, you know, big physical results that you've seen and some non-physical results?
Well, my body changed a lot throughout these years. Like I easily gain weight. I easily lose weight. I easily gain cellulite. I very hardly lose cellulite, but my body changed, yes, and sometimes I like it more. Sometimes it's all also very related to what you eat. Mm-hmm. And I feel like when I'm craving sweets and cakes and chocolates, and I go and I eat all of that I love, I feel it in my body immediately. Mm-hmm. So, but it has been pretty consistent with some changes, of course. As I mentioned, I'm also aging. My body is different today than what it was 10 years ago. Mm-hmm. So,
yeah, it's hard to believe that looking at you, but it's good to know.
Yes.
We're all in the same boat.
We are all, it's all the same, I think. We all go through this. We all gain weight, lose weight, get cellulite, we get bloated, I don't know. That's just how we are.
So Ange has a question in the chat. And she said, have you ever had a setback? And if so, how did you overcome it?
A setback? What do you mean by that?
Maybe like a particular challenge, like an injury or something like that, you know, pulled you away from being able to do the workout.
I've had several injuries for sure, on my back, on my wrists. Mm-hmm. There was a time that I had pain in my wrists, but I never stopped doing it because I'm very stubborn, very stubborn. But I didn't stop doing it. Never.
You just worked through it and figured it out?
Maybe because it was not something that I could say I have to stop it or I can't take it. But I had several injuries. I had.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, okay, there's no more questions in the chat. I'm going to ask you another one that we have planned for you. Do you have any workout partners?
I have a few girls here in town who tried, and they do it sometimes. But I think my really workout partner is Aggie. I think she's the one, even miles away, but she's the one. Yes.
That's
Not
excellent.
in my town.
So we have a question in the chat from Katie, and she wants to know if you used to dance.
Never.
Really?
No, I'm not a dancer.
Oh my gosh, that's so surprising.
No, but I think I have the rhythm in me, but I'm not a dancer. No.
So Tracy STRB3, not Tracy Anderson, has a question. She asked, what is your diet that you follow?
That's a good one, because let me tell you what, I'm a real fake vegan. So most of the time I eat vegan, but when I crave sweets, I go for a cake, I go for a chocolate, and it's not dark. It has to be like real chocolate, milk chocolate. So, but most of the time I eat the vegan style.
Okay, that's good to know. Nicole would like to know how you and Aggie met.
Oh, so that was, I think, 4 years ago.
Okay.
We had met up the very first streamers. There was a group that wanted to meet. And so one of the girls arranged the meeting in New York with Tracy.
Okay.
So that's how I met Aggie.
Ah, that's awesome.
And since then, we never stopped. Yes.
So do you visit New York on a regular basis?
Very much. Oh, I can't wait to come back. I'm coming back in April.
Oh.
I want to go as much as I can, and that's my plan. I just want to go to New York and spend some time with Aggie and her family, go to the studio, take a walk in New York freely, and then I come back to work for another season on my 2 jobs, and then I go back.
That's exciting.
That's it, yes.
Okay, you have a lot of comments in here, but no other questions, I don't think. Okay. So, so I know the answer to this question, but I'm asking it anyway. Have you ever met Tracy?
I met, yes. That's when I met Aggie. That's when I met Tracy, and a few beautiful women too. That's how I met Tracy. Yes. And that.
So what was it like meeting Tracy and getting to work out in the studio?
I was like, oh, Tracy, because it was a dream come true meeting Tracy. That time, yes, it was a dream come true. I couldn't believe I was meeting Tracy. Very nice. It was a big moment for me.
So that was, what studio would that have been in? The old?
Tribeca, the oldest one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow. Yeah, it's funny what's happened in the last 4 years, because now you've been to the 59th Street studio and stuff.
I've been on the other one in Tribeca too. I've been at the Hamptons.
Okay.
Yes.
Awesome. We have another question from Tam Nation, which is, what are your thoughts about the Tamily?
Well, I think there are a few nice, wonderful women out there who support each other, and it's inspiring. As long as it's not too crazy, as long as it is balanced, because I was a little obsessed too, to be honest with you. I was, and that is something that I've been learning throughout the years and working on it. I was very much obsessed. And so I think the women are wonderful. The group is amazing. It's very inspiring to see women empowering other women and supporting other women. That's very powerful. And I admire that on every single one of you. And that's what I think, yes.
But you're right. It is about balance, because anything that, whether it's working out, whether it's Instagram, anything that's too much is, going to be too much. Like, we do have to have balance in our lives.
Yes, and I've learned that for the past 3 to 4 years, I've learned a lot about balance, and I've been working on balancing myself.
Mm-hmm. So what would be your advice to someone that's new to the Tamily?
You got to give it a try. You got to give it a try, and it's not 1 or 2 days and 3 and giving up. No, you got to go for a week, 2 weeks, because you will see the results. But you got to give yourself a chance. You got to give yourself a try to see that. Because I think it comes to anyone who is consistent.
Yeah.
And eats balanced.
Yeah.
I am not the best person to talk about eating because I'm a fake vegan. I don't eat balanced. No. but I think that's it. Yes.
Yeah. I think that's the hardest part for someone that's new, because you just have to get into the habit.
You own yourself that. You own yourself the try, whatever that is, whatever the workout that is, you gotta give it.
Absolutely. So of course we already have a question from Aggie. So get ready. Her question is, what's something you thought you would grow out of but didn't?
Oh my God, this is so Aggie. I don't know. Something, can you ask the question again? She's killing
Yeah.
me. She's killing me.
What's something you thought you'd grow out of but didn't?
I don't know.
Well, you can think about it and we can ask you other questions.
Okay.
Aggie asks the most difficult questions. She's so deep. It's so funny.
That's why I love her. She's so special. This is Aggie at her best.
It is. So Ange has another question, which is, do you use heat and humidity when you work out?
Nothing.
Really?
No. Whatever it is, it's how it goes.
Okay. Well, that's good to know, because and of course we've heard that people see results without the heat and humidity as well. Even though, that is what Tracy recommends.
But I love it. So when I go to Aggie, she has at her home studio heat and humidity, perfect, on point. But I struggle the first days. Like, I take so many breaks and I can't. Sometimes I go out of the studio to get fresh air, and then I keep on going. I really struggle. And until I really get used to it, I struggle.
Yeah, it definitely is challenging. So Aggie said the answer to her question is your teenage pair of jeans.
What, this?
Oh my gosh,
okay, so... Aggie, okay, thank you. Yes. Thank you.
That's a perfect answer.
The perfect answer, and I didn't know. And I had them on.
Them on. Are those really from when you were a teenager?
Yes.
Oh my God.
Yes.
That's amazing.
It's very old. Yes.
Monica,
I'm
you're
kidding
amazing.
you. No, it's not. No.
Oh my God.
Oh. No way. No, not this one.
Okay, let's get back to the questions. What would be your advice to someone who's not feeling motivated to work out, even though they've been doing the method for a while?
You got to work on your mind. It's all in here. You got to work on your mindset. You got to put that chip on. You got to have that chip on and just do what you have to do. You got to do what you got to do. You got to do what it has to be done. So get it done.
Just do it.
Just do it.
What is something that you have learned from Tracy?
Consistency. Consistency, yes. Most of it, the consistency. And I mean, the method by itself, it teaches me every day. Every day. I'm always learning, there's always something new. There is always a new physical and mental challenge. Always learning.
That is so amazing, especially because you've done like all the different phases, like the DVDs in the beginning and metamorphosis and continuity for years, and then now streaming. To have something new happening all the time after all of that is so amazing.
Because the thing is, there is always something new. She keeps the basic movements, but there's always a new different thing. And what is very interesting also in the method, it's not only the movements, but how she combines the movements together, how she designs the combination, like how she designs the dance on the floor, the mechanic of the dance, let's say it that way. That's what really fascinates me.
Yeah, and keeps you doing something for this many years. It's been like 11 years that you've been doing the method.
I've been counting it by the accident of my dog, yes.
Oh, gosh.
Because it was a remarkable time for me.
Yeah.
I was home. I wanted to do something different. And then my friend comes out and she says, try this. You're going to love her. And I did. And at the same time, I was rehabilitating my dog. I didn't want to go anywhere. I wanted to stay home with my dog.
Yeah.
I needed to move. And spinning by that time wasn't doing me any good. So once I started, I could see the changes, and they kept on going throughout the years. My body keeps on changing, sometimes for the good, and I say, oh my God, I love the way I look. And sometimes I go like, no, but it also is how I eat.
Right.
And thoughts and whatever that goes on. How I sleep, how much water I drink, everything.
Exactly. You're right.
It all reflects on the body. Everything mirrors on the body. Everything that we face ahead reflects on the body.
Absolutely. And would like to know, what do you do when your mindset is off?
I do it. I told you, I'm very stubborn.
You are so good.
Oh my God, I'm stubborn. I do it anyway. I do it.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's what, especially for someone that's been doing it as long as you have, you hear that a lot, like, just do it anyway. And usually if you start, you keep doing it. But it's sometimes just for some people to push play, like they just have to do it.
But I have my bad days. I told you, today was one of those days I wasn't moving well. I was tired. My movements were heavy. And I think that we all have those days.
Yes. Definitely.
But I do it. I do it. I do it. Even if I take more breaks, I do it.
Right. So do you always do advanced, or do you switch with intermediate and start? How do you do that?
I switch.
Okay.
Here's how it goes. So first I try advanced. I never liked the first class. Most of the times, but then I give it a second try and I end up liking it and feeling it, feeling it in my body and understanding the design, the combination of the movements. Yeah. And if it makes sense to me, I'll keep on going. If it doesn't, I try intermediate, I do beginners. Even on a rest day, I can do beginners, or if I like more intermediate, I'll go the whole week with intermediate. as long as it makes sense to me. But if it doesn't, or if I don't like it, or even if it is too hard for me on that week, like it's a crazy hard combination, I'm not feeling it, then I change.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you do the dance cardio?
No, but I used to in all those years. I think I'm not doing dance cardio for the past maybe 2 years because I don't have time. That's why. But I love it. I love it. I have 2 jobs, so some days I can hardly fit in a class. So most days I do it on my job, on my lunch time. And I wish I could have time to dance because I love it, but I can't.
Yeah. Well, Tracy does say it's a complete workout. Like, you know, when you do intermediate or advanced, it is cardiovascular and everything. You don't necessarily have to do the dance cardio, but obviously it has its benefits.
I felt very, very good when I was dancing, and the results were much different too.
Yeah.
But it is what it is.
It depends on what you can fit in your life.
Yes, absolutely.
Do you have any tips for doing the method while traveling?
I used to travel with the ankle weights, but yes, I used to all of the time. But here's what you can do. You can use bottles for the arm section, and for legs, you can do it without ankle weights and still an amazing workout using your body weight. Or just take the little ones or the heavy ones with you. There's nothing wrong with that. But definitely do something while you are traveling.
That's such a good point, because I don't know, I always feel like I want to take every single thing with me, and then, you know, your suitcase weighs 75 pounds, and it's not always possible. But doing the workout without the weights sometimes is just a totally different experience, but it's still a very good workout.
You have a different perception of the movement, definitely.
Yeah.
It becomes more mindful because having less weight allows you to perform like more mindfully.
That makes sense. Yeah.
It makes sense. But listen, Suzanne, I used to take all the weights with me too. Crazy. No, I wouldn't do that now. I wouldn't go with the weights on travel. No, but this is a great option.
Definitely. Okay, we have a couple more questions for you in the chat.
Oh my God.
So Tam Nation says, you're coming to London in February. Are you planning to work out and meet up with Tamily?
So I'm going to be there for only a few days. 3 days, but we can definitely set up a meeting and work out together. I'm looking forward to that because the past visits to London, I couldn't make it to the girls because I always come for a short period of time, and then I have to visit my mom. So it's not easy sometimes, but I'm looking forward to meet a few girls.
Well, now it's documented in this interview, so all the London Tamily is going to expect to see you.
So let's make a meetup, girls. We have to.
That'll be great. Now we have another question from Aggie, and of course, it's like on another level. So, what age do you feel right now, and why? And how do you keep your spirit so young?
Oh my God, Aggie. I am feeling 24, not 14. No, but I am feeling 24. And what was she asking then?
How do you keep your spirit so young?
It's because I relate to you, Aggie. It's because you inspire me. That's how I keep myself myself so young, light spirit.
You do have that. I said it even before Aggie asked that. You have like light and positivity about you, especially in your posts and your videos. It's so wonderful.
Listen, Suzanne, I try, but this is a constant work in progress, like inner work, to stay positive, to work on my mindset, to see the beauty. It's a constant work. It is.
Definitely, definitely. But it's so wonderful to just see your approach to things because, you know, sometimes people just sort of sink into a different way of doing things, and seeing someone like you with just kind of like an uplifting way about you can really be inspiring.
Oh my God, Suzanne, thank you so much. That means a lot to me because I really try to share what I'm feeling. So that's what I'm working on and what I'm trying to share.
Yeah, you do a great job of that.
Thank you. It's a constant work. Oh my God, constant ups and downs. But that's life.
So, for you personally, why is your workout important to you?
I have to move. I have to move, but I don't have to move like just anyway. Not by moving, I mean not lifting weights. No, that's not me. This is what makes sense to me, and as long as it makes sense, because it does, to move this way, I have to do it because I love it. I like to move it that way. I like to move my body, to express my body that way, you know. That's a lot of expression that we do on the mat, for the good and for the worst too.
Yeah, and it is so different than, you know, just other types of like really repetitive, you know, similar motions, like especially to your point about different moves with Tracy and using like your whole body.
It is good. It gives me new possibilities and a new acknowledgement of my body, of what I can do, how I can move, and I like to move. I like to move that way. Yeah.
So how does your workout fit into your life, especially with you being so consistent with it?
Well, it's not easy, and I told you, most of the days I do it on my lunchtime in my main job, because as I have two jobs, sometimes if I don't do it on that hour, and sometimes I can't even finish it, and I skip the arm section, the warm up, not the weight section, but
Okay.
the warm up. I skip it because sometimes I just can't finish, but I try to do my best, like get dressed really quickly and get everything prepared to go and do what I have to do, because I know if I don't do it that time, I won't fit it in.
Yeah, you have to make it happen.
I have to make it happen because it makes me feel good. I like to move it that way. Need to move those inversions, angles, possibilities.
Do you have a motivational quote that you would like to share with the Tamily?
I don't know if you remember, this was a quote of mine. Twist, squeeze, and sweat. Do you remember? I was saying,
I don't.
yes, this is when the first early streaming started.
Okay.
And this is real. This is, I was saying all the time. That was from me. I made that quote. Twist, squeeze, and sweat. Twist, squeeze, and sweat.
Okay. It's very catchy.
That's nothing special, like not one of those quotes that are made. This was my quote.
Yeah, I like it. You should start using it again in your posts.
I will definitely. Thank you, Suzanne.
What is your personal philosophy about working out and exercise?
Well, I always say this, it has to be meaningful and it has to make sense, whatever it is that we are doing. Not only in our workouts, but in everything. As long as it makes sense, we are okay.
Mm-hmm.
So that's my philosophy to work out in general. As long as it makes sense to you, as long as you like it, as long as you feel it, then you are doing right.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think that's important because, you know, even like this method that obviously all of us are really committed to, it's not perfect for everyone, but everyone needs to find what is right for them and do that. Like, because they have to make health and wellness a priority, but it's not going to be the same thing that works for everybody.
Listen, Suzanne, this is a very, very hard workout. Mm-hmm. Very hard. And I don't think that anybody can do it. This is not for every woman. Mm-hmm. That's not everyone that has the mindset and the resilience to keep on going with this, because it is very hard. It is extremely hard. Even beginners, when the combinations are simple and easy and we all know those angles, it's still hard. And I still take breaks on beginners.
Right, so do I.
It's like if you do it well, it is hard and it is not for everybody.
Definitely.
So you need to have a strong mindset to do it.
Yeah. What is important to you in your life that you would like to share with the Tamily?
In general, well, you got to work on maintaining close to you the people you love and the people that love you back. That's what I think that's important. It's very important, because if you have a strong base, you are ready to go and to face any challenge. But you need to find, you need to have that strong base.
Well, Aggie just said in the chat that you're her best friend.
She's my best friend. Oh my God. We have been through so much together.
You two are so cute.
For the good and for the best. And you know, I have to tell you this, the best thing I got from the method is having a friend as Aggie. Because if it wasn't through the method, I would never have met Aggie.
Yeah, there's so many things that are like that. It's so amazing because it is so much more than a workout when, you know, you can make these connections with people.
It is, because at some point we are all connected, and at some point we end up meeting up, I think. Yeah. And we are so present on each other's lives that feels like I know you. I see you every day in your posts. And you see you every day. But it is definitely, you connect, you end up connecting with more people in a different way. And some people stay, some people go. But Aggie stayed and I stayed too.
Right. Absolutely.
Yeah.
So Monica, I know the answer to this, but can you tell us where you live and what you do?
I live in Portugal. I wish I could live in the United States of America, because I love America. But for now, I'm living in Portugal. You never know what comes. You never know what's there to come. But I work on special needs, and that's my main job. And then I'm a fitness trainer also. That's my second job. Yes.
Those are both excellent things to do.
Yeah.
And we appreciate you sharing those things about your life with us.
I do. Sometimes, once in a while, I share like a cute picture that I took with my specials, or with my dog, or with my friends. Second job at the gym. share just as I live, how I live.
Well, it makes, just more of a connection. I mean, I know we all connect over this workout, but that's, why we want to have these interviews is like to get to know people in another way. It just creates more of a connection, and you can, help inspire or influence people that, you never even really would have known. And getting to, learn other things about Tamily members besides just like their workout routine is so interesting, to me, and I think too to everybody else in the community.
I try, but I'm also very inspired by all of you.
Mm-hmm.
All of you. Yes, absolutely.
Who would you like to see us interview in the future, in 2020 for Ask Tamily?
I guess we know that. Aggie, it's you, my dear. Yes, I can't wait to see that interview. Oh, yeah.
We will see if we can schedule that one.
I'm waiting. I'm waiting.
So Nicole has a question for for you. Will you tell us about your sweet puppy? How old is she? Did you get her as a puppy? And is she there with you right now?
She is. So I will show you Safi.
Oh, I didn't realize she was sitting right there.
Yeah, she's sleeping.
Aww.
She's turning 12 in February. And I got her as a baby.
Oh.
Yes. And then she was hit by a car when she was 1 year old, and a very severe injury in her plexus. So there is no brain communication between the brain and the leg. By that time, I rehabilitated. I did everything I could to have her movement back. Mm-hmm. But that was not possible. So this is what she does, something like this. And I decided not to amputate the leg. I wanted to keep the leg. So she always has a boot on and a cute sock. And this is how she walks. She walks like this.
Aww.
Yeah.
Aww. That's so wonderful that you were able to care for her, though, and that she's still doing well at 12.
Absolutely, yes. She had a cancer when I came back from New York in September. We removed cancer. Yes, that was hard. We removed the cancer. It's okay now.
That's wonderful that she's okay now. Gosh, you can have some serious challenges with.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Well, I'm glad that she's doing well.
She's okay. She's my baby. My baby. Yeah.
We can tell from your posts.
Yes. I really love her. Yeah. Thank you, Suzanne.
Absolutely. That's another thing I love learning about the Tamily is about all their puppies.
Yeah, I feel like I know the puppies.
Yeah.
Like Claire's puppy and Carol's puppy. And they are all old. And I have cats.
Yes. Yep. One other question we had for you is what is the meaning of your Instagram name?
To share my journey, what I'm doing.
Okay.
Yeah. And I share how I feel. Some days I'm uplifted. Some days I feel more sensitive and introspective. And it comes a lot on the map too, because this is another thing. It's so meaningful, and if you do it very mindfully, a lot comes out. A lot. So
definitely, totally agree. How did you first discover the Tamily? Especially because you were doing the workout a while before the Tamily existed, probably.
There was when I was doing the DVDs, there was already a community on Facebook.
Okay.
So I think that's how it started. But the real Tamily thing started when streaming started, I guess.
Okay.
I remember that.
Yeah, yeah.
And I think it was Jillian, right?
Okay, yes.
That was Jillian. That was Jillian who named the group like.
Yeah, and when she would do themes and stuff of like every week had a theme or something.
Yes, I remember that. It was so funny. And we had challenges that Tracy said. Challenge, like, hats.
Yeah, we've gotten kind of away from that. We need to revive that.
Yeah, and GYBG, something like that. Yeah, that was fun. That was fun.
Yeah, definitely. Was Aggie your GYBG?
No, it was Shayna.
Okay.
Shayna,
okay.
I connected with Aggie after that GYBG.
Okay.
Yes. I got separated 3.5 years ago, and that's when I became closer and closer to Aggie.
Okay. She definitely seems like a great support during those kind of things.
When you have a friend like Aggie, you have a lot in life.
Yes. When did you first post on Instagram as part of the Tamily? Was it right when you found out, or did you think about it for a while?
When I started streaming.
Okay.
Yes, when I started streaming. Yes, that's when we started to post on IG.
And did you put videos right away?
Right away. Oh, right away. Yes, right away.
See, you have that Tam confidence. Other people had to build it for a while.
No, it was right away. Yes, right away.
Love it, Monica. I love it.
And I wish I could support the girls more. I wish I could support the community more. But sometimes it's just hard to.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like it's like a struggle a little bit, because you want to be involved and comment on everybody's posts and look at it every day, but you have to balance. But just know that whatever you do, and I think Tracy said this in one of her talks just recently, just showing up, just like putting a post, even if you don't comment on anybody else or like anything else, it makes an inspirational difference to the community. So you do what you can, and we will take whatever we can get.
Thank you. I do what I can. Yes. And there are so many new girls also. So in the very first beginning, it was like maybe 30 or when streaming started, and then the community became bigger, much bigger. I see new girls every day, girls every day. Yes.
Yeah, it's amazing. But you're definitely an inspiration for, them to see so many people in the community that have such a long history with the method. It's awesome.
Thank you. As I told you, Suzanne, as long as it makes sense to me and as long as it is meaningful to me, I will keep on going. Yeah.
Well, I don't think we have any other questions in the chat. And I have a couple of other sort of silly little questions for you. But are you drinking anything right now?
No.
Okay. Well.
No.
And what is your favorite pizza topping?
I don't eat much pizza because I'm fake vegan.
You're so silly.
But tomato.
Okay. Well, while you have this audience still for a few more minutes, is there anything else you would like to share with the Tamily?
I don't know. Ask me whatever you want. I'm here for you. I don't know. What can I share? I've told you how I feel about the method. And throughout all these years that I've been doing the method and seeing my body change, and I keep on being challenged. So that's amazing. That's amazing to me.
Definitely.
We have a new content. We have different possibilities. We have different classes.
Yeah.
So there are no excuses. You have options.
Mhm.
You have to work on your mind if you don't feel it, because it's for you, not for anybody else. It's for you.
Right, exactly. That's an important thing to remember.
So that's what I would like to share. And I honestly think that Tracy came out with something really good and different and unique,
Mhm.
because the truth is, no one has ever done this before. And of course, now there are many good trainers who inspire me every day on my professional life.
Yeah.
But the fact is that Tracy keeps on coming up with different things and things that work, movements that work, they work, depending, of course, on what you want. Because if you want to get like volume, lots of definition, then you are doing the wrong approach.
Right.
But if you want a lean, little, small definition, this is what you have to do, and this is what I do because it works for me. I know that if I go up and lift weights, I will bulk, because that's how I used to be before. When I was teaching other classes, I was much bigger, not fat, but I had more volume. So for me, I know that if I want to be looking like this is what I have to do, because this is how my muscles are being pulled in, and I feel it.
Right. And you look it.
Thank you, Susan. It's so hard work, I'm telling you. It's not always easy, and I eat cakes and sweets and chocolates sometimes, and the weight goes up and down, and I gain water retention and cellulite, but it's all part of the process.
True. Well, we have a couple other questions for you in the chat. Okay. And Instagram will cut us off at exactly 1 hour. So we got to be ready for that.
Okay.
So Nicole said, what is your favorite homemade vegan meal?
I used to do lots of stuff before, like vegan burgers, dehydrated potatoes, carrots, beetroots. I used to make a lot of that. But I think the answer to that is the burgers.
Okay.
Vegan burgers, which I don't make them because I'm very lazy to cook. I'm the worst. I'm very lazy to cook. I don't cook. So, but early before, I used to do that a lot.
Okay. Tam Nation would like you to tell us a truth and a lie, and we'll guess which one is the lie.
Well, the lie, the truth is that I'm a fake vegan. That's the truth.
You are so funny that you call yourself a fake vegan.
And the lie, you want me to tell a lie?
Well, we need to guess if something is a lie. So you got to tell us two things, and we'll guess which is true and which is a lie.
Wow, now you got me again. Damn. I don't know.
You're not a good liar, Monica.
I'm not a good liar. No, I don't know.
That's fine.
A lie. Oh my God.
We appreciate that you're not a good liar.
I know a lie.
Okay.
I'm going to be a mother soon.
Oh. You're Safi's mother.
Yeah, I'm Safi's mother. Yes.
Well, we are getting very close to the end of our hour, but we really want to thank you for a super fun and hilarious interview. I think I was laughing like the whole time, Monica. You were so fun. And
Me
it's been
too.
super awesome to get to know you a little more.
Oh my God, no, I am so grateful. I am very happy to have the chance to do this. So thank you for having me.
Absolutely.
I think that I have a smile, like a big smile. I feel my cheeks up here. So I was smiling the whole time. I had a very good time. And thank you so much, you girls, for doing for the Tamily girls.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Yes, because that's a very nice thing, to give us a chance to show ourselves a little bit more and to share about ourselves. And then that's very beautiful what you do. So thank you.
Oh, thank you. It's all for people like you.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Well, I will share the interview on my story, so it'll be on Instagram for 24 hours, and then in a few days, we'll get it onto YouTube, and everybody can watch it there as well.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Suzanne.
Thank you. Thanks, Monica.
Bye.
Have a good day, and Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, everybody. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.